नमस्सर्वेभ्यः। प्रायः बहुषु जनेषु ब्रह्मा अथवा ब्रह्म शब्दस्य विषये भ्रमः वर्तते इति भाति। अद्य तस्मिन् विषये किञ्चित् परिशीलयामः। Looks like many people have some confusion about how to pronounce the word Brahma or Brahma. So in today's session, we'll take up that subject. In the Sanskrit Shiksha Shastram, or the art of pronunciation, the position of sounds or from where they originate in the mouth, it is defined as Ashtau sthanani varnanam urah kantha shirastatha jihvamulam cha dantascha nasikoshtau cha talucha. That means there are 8 places or positions from where different sounds can originate. They are urah or uras, the area of chest, then kantha, then there is the kantha or the throat, and shirah, that the top portion inside the mouth, the shiras of the mouth, and then jihvamulam, the root of the tongue, dantaha, the teeth or the backside of the teeth, the nasika, which is the nose, oshtau, lips, and talu, the soft palate or the area between the top inside of the mouth and the throat. So these are the 8 different positions from where different sounds in the Sanskrita literature or Sanskrita bhasha can be pronounced. Since we are now talking about this h or the sound h, so what the Shiksha Shastram has to say about the origin of the position of h, hakara. So it says hakaram panchabhir yuktam antasthabhischa sanyutam urasyatam vijaniyat kantham ahur sanyutam. Means hakara, the sound h, when compounded with other letters, that is when it is joined with other letters, it always, that sound h always comes first in Sanskrita bhasha. In that case, its position is uras or the chest. Now it says hakaram panchabhir yuktam antasthabhischa sanyutam. Antastha panchabhi means which are the 5 letters with which hakara can be joined. Those are the anunasika varnas of each vargiya vyanjanas. That is kavarga, chavarga, tavarga, tavarga, pavarga. Of these 5 vargas, the anunasika varnas, the end letters, the last letters, kakarasya kavargasya antima varnaha asti nga, chavargasya antima varnaha ya, tavargasya antima varnaha na, and tavargasya antima varnaha na, and pavargasya antima varnaha ma. And antastha varnaha, antastha vyanjanas are ya, ra, la, va. So with these 9 letters only, or 9 sounds only, this h or hakara sound h can be combined, not with any other letters or any other sounds. So when this hakara is combined with any one of these 9 sounds, that is nga, ya, na, na, ma, ya, ra, la, va, the hakara always comes first in Sanskrita language. For example, we have Brahma, or Brahma, then Purhanna, Aparhanna, Vahni, Jihva, Ahallada, Prahlada, etc. So there are so many words like this where Hakara comes in conjunction with other sound. In all those cases, Hakara comes or pronounced always first. Then in other cases where Hakara or sound Ha is not compounded with any other letter, then its position, its sthanam of origin is Kantha or throat. Udaharanartham, for example, Ahara, Hota, Avahelanam, Mahatma. So in all these cases, the sound Ha is pronounced or stands by itself and not compounded, not in conjunction with any other letter. So in that case, its sthanam origin is Kantha or throat. Otherwise, if it is compounded, then its sthanam is chest, as you can experience that when we are saying, try to say Vahni, that we have to force the air out of our chest, like Vahni, Jihva. Same thing with Brahma or Brahma, Purvahna, Aparahna. Like that, the pronunciation of Hakara in case when it is combined with some other letter, it always comes first, and its position of origin, it originates from the chest. If it is not compounded, not combined with any other letter, it is just the Kantha. The use of chest is not there, like Ahara. It is a simple pronunciation, Hota or Mahatma. Okay? This should be understood. Now let's look at the origin or nishpatti of a couple of such words where Hakara is combined with some other sound or the letter, like Brahma or Vahni. So for example, Brahma, the word originates from the root dhatu bruhi, which is Brahma, and adding a pratyaya called manin to it, so it becomes Brahma. So where this, what does it mean? Brahma dhatu means vardhanam, expanding, growing. So when we add pratyaya manin to it, it means something that expands, something that grows eternally or everywhere. That's called Brahma, which means the thing that exists or grows across this Vishwam, universe. So that is Brahma. And Vahni means, which is the originating from the dhatu Vah, which means carry, and adding a pratyaya called ni to it. So Vahni means that thing, something which carries. In this case, it is representing the Agni or the fire, because the yaga or yajna is done using fire, and when this something is put into the fire, it carries or it takes that offering to the gods. So in that sense, Vahni is used. So where there is a argument that these should be pronounced with ma first and ha later, like Brahma, Vanhi or Brahma. So there these origin or nishpatti becomes meaningless. And also in Sanskrit Bhasha, every pronunciation has a meaning. So if we change the pronunciation, the meaning definitely changes. So if we are going to say Brahma instead of Brahma, the meaning is different. So first of all, In the Sanskrit Bhasha, as we saw just now, that the hakara, when it is compounded with any other sound, is always comes first. So in this case it is Brahma, not Brahma. So if it is coming later, then its origin of pronunciation is going to be throat, which is different. And in any case, if it is originating from the throat, there is no word in Sanskrit Bhasha where the hakara comes in combination with another sound or another letter. It has to come first. So it couldn't be Brahma or Vanhi. The meanings change, and the sthanam in the kantha or sthanam in the mouth, it also changes. So the argument that the Brahma or Brahma Vanhi should be pronounced as Brahma Vanhi, which is not logical. It doesn't make any sense. And the other thing is that Bhasha is always first, and Lipi is, or the script, is just a lekhana paddhati. It is, Lipi is just used to represent what we talk. Bhasha means talking. Bhashateti bhasha means one which is spoken, is called bhasha. So how we speak, that is how it is to be written. The lipi, the script, has to represent what is spoken. Especially with Sanskritam, Sanskrita bhasha, the lipi currently which is used to write Sanskrita bhasha, which is Devanagari, represents the way the bhasha is spoken. Even the languages like English, which most of the times takes a lot of beating, because many of them, they say it is, English is not very scientific, not logical. Even in that case, its writing, or the lipi, in that also, except these, sometimes except these vowels, pronouncing of the vowels, broadly the lipi of English represents how the consonants or the vyanjanas are spoken in English. So even there is some logic is there. For example, when we write PTCH or PATCH, we pronounce it as patch. We don't ask to pronounce it as CPTH or CHPT. So the Sanskritam bhasha, which is completely logical or scientific bhasha, couldn't dictate to write in one way and speak in a different way. For example, you take this, the word here, which is shown here, called Shankara. So there, the Shankara can be written as in both these ways, which is shown here. One with the Anuswara Chihnam, and the other one with the Ngakara, the Kavargasya Anunasika Varna, Ngakara. So both the ways it is possible. So what does it mean? In pronunciation, are they going to sound same? So this also should be clear, that when we write Shankara with Anuswara or with Ngakara, is it just the difference in writing? Some might say that it is both the ways the writing is allowed, but pronunciation, there is no difference. That is not the case. When we write them differently, the pronunciation is also different. That is what it means. That is what the lipi is for. Lipi is to represent the spoken way. So when we write the Shankara with Anuswara. So we have to know how the Anuswara has to be pronounced. That is Shankara. Shankara. Whereas when it is written with Ngakara, the pronunciation is different. That is Shankara, not Shankara. Shankara, Shankara. Both the ways, both the spoken ways are correct. That is why these two ways of writing are correct. Not because you write anyway, both the ways you want, the pronunciation doesn't matter. That is not the case. So Shankara, Shankara. There is a difference in pronunciation, and that's why they are represented differently by the lipi, script. So same thing we have to understand. When we write Brahma, the ha first and ma later as a combination or a compound, Sanyuktaksharam, is totally different when we write ma first and ha later. And obviously the meaning also changes. So the bottom line is that Brahma is the right way of pronunciation as it is written. And some might say that no, it is the Vaidika parampara of pronouncing Brahma as Brahma. Or some may argue that somewhere in the Pratishakyas of Vedas, Pratishakyas are the pronunciation part of these Vedas. There it is mentioned that Brahma should be pronounced as Brahma. That is not correct. That is not true. Because the Vedas do not talk about writing, how to write. They only talk about speaking. Shiksha is about pronunciation, not writing. So Vaidika Parampara or the Pratishakyas of Vedas do not mention about lipi. And if there is a Vaidika Parampara or if there is a tradition that the pronunciation has to be like Brahma, that is not correct. And we have the right to ask the question why. Why is that parampara and how that parampara came into picture, came into existence. Some might also say that no, our gurus, they have taught us like this to pronounce Brahma as Brahma, which is again, our Sanatana Dharma is based on logic. Our Sanatana Bhasha, which is Sanskrita Bhasha, is also based on logic completely. Not with some belief, or not just blindly believing somebody that because somebody says something, it has to be done like that. So if it doesn't make sense, if it is not logical, it is time to change it and time to adopt the right way. In today's what is so-called Vaidika Parampara, not everyone agrees with that twisted pronunciation of this word. And the learners of Sanskrit, they hear it from the teachers that Brahma should be pronounced as Brahma. Though it has to be written as Brahma, it should be pronounced Brahma. And when they hear it, they get confused. But there is a tendency that if it is said in Vedas or if it is a Vaidika Parampara, it should not be questioned. And it cannot be questioned. It has to be just followed. That is the usual tendency of the people. So that's why this thing continues. But the fact is that Brahma should be pronounced as it is written, not in the twisted reverse way, because it doesn't hold any grounds. Also, if we say it in a different way, it doesn't mean the same thing. What we are trying to address here, the God, Brahma, the meaning is different. So the pronunciation, the correct pronunciation is how it is written, Brahma, or rather we should say it should be written how it is pronounced, that is Brahma only. धन्यवादः, नमस्काराः.